Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of remarkable individuals, seeking to understand the intricate tapestry of their experiences, choices, and character. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the life of Marilyn Monroe, an iconic figure whose allure and vulnerability have captivated audiences for generations. Born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles, California, Marilyn's life was a complex interplay of circumstance, talent, and determination, which would eventually propel her to the pinnacle of Hollywood stardom. As we step into the world of Marilyn Monroe, we find ourselves in the midst of the Roaring Twenties, an era marked by jazz, flappers, and the dawn of the American film industry. The city of Los Angeles, with its sun-kissed streets and promise of opportunity, was a magnet for dreamers and aspiring stars. It was here, in this vibrant and unpredictable landscape, that Norma Jean's story began to unfold. Marilyn Monroe's early life was marked by instability and hardship. Her mother, Gladys Pearl Baker, struggling with psychiatric issues that would periodically land her in mental institutions. Her father, Martin Edward Mortensen, a Norwegian immigrant, was largely absent from her life, his identity shrouded in mystery. The 1930s, a time of great economic upheaval in America, saw Norma Jean shuffled between various foster homes, experiencing firsthand the harsh realities of poverty and the generosity of strangers. One such foster home, with Albert and Ida Bolander, provided her with a semblance of normalcy for a few years, though the sense of impermanence lingered. The Bolanders, kind-hearted and devout Christians, introduced Norma Jean to the comforts of family life, including regular meals, bedtime stories, and Sunday church services. However, as the years passed, Norma Jean found herself being moved from one foster home to another, never quite finding the sense of belonging she so desperately craved. It was during these formative years that Norma Jean began to develop a strong affinity for movies, finding solace in the cinema's ability to transport her beyond the difficulties of her daily life. She would often sneak into the local movie theater, mesmerized by the silver screen and the larger-than-life characters that danced across it. The escapism offered by films became a coping mechanism, allowing her to temporarily forget the hardships and uncertainties of her own life. As she sat in the darkened theater, surrounded by the magic of Hollywood, Norma Jean began to dream of a different future, one where she could escape the limitations of her circumstances and shine as brightly as the stars on screen. The influence of Hollywood, both as an escape and an aspiration, became increasingly significant as Norma Jean grew older. Her mother's own dreams of becoming an actress, though never realized, instilled in her daughter a fascination with the performing arts. Gladys would often regale Norma Jean with stories of her favorite stars, from Clara Bow to Greta Garbo, and the two would spend hours poring over movie magazines, imagining themselves as part of the glamorous world of cinema. This early exposure, combined with her natural charm and vivacity, laid the groundwork for what would become Marilyn Monroe's most enduring legacy. As she entered her teenage years, Norma Jean faced new challenges, including the stigma associated with being a foster child and the onset of puberty in a body that would soon attract unwanted attention. Her journey through adolescence was marked by resilience and a burgeoning sense of self, as she began to explore her identity beyond the confines of her tumultuous home life. She found solace in her friendships, particularly with a girl named Mary Cable, who shared her love for movies and music. Together, they would spend hours listening to the radio, singing along to the latest hits, and dreaming of their future. In 1942, at the age of 16, Norma Jean married James Doherty, a neighbor's son, in a union that was as much about seeking stability as it was about love. The marriage, which lasted for 4 years, provided a sense of security, but it also stifled Norma Jean's creative ambitions, forcing her to confront the limitations of her circumstances. The fragile foundation of her childhood, marked by instability and hardship, would eventually give rise to a determination and resilience that would serve her well in the cutthroat world of Hollywood. As Norma Jean's marriage to James Doherty came to an end in 1946, she found herself standing at a crossroads, torn between the comfort of familiarity and the allure of her long-held aspirations. The warm, golden light of California's sunsets seemed to whisper promises of a brighter future as she gazed out at the endless expanse of possibility before her. It was during this period of transition that she began to explore the possibility of a career in modeling, leveraging her natural charm and photogenic qualities to secure work with local modeling agencies. Her days were filled with the soft click of camera shutters, the rustle of fabric as she changed into various outfits, and the gentle guidance of seasoned photographers who helped her hone her craft. Her breakthrough came when she caught the attention of Emmeline Snively, the director of the Blue Book modeling agency, who saw immense potential in the young woman and helped her land her first major modeling contract. Snively's keen eye for talent and her ability to nurture young models had earned her a reputation as one of the most respected figures in the industry. Under her guidance, Norma Jean's confidence blossomed, and she began to see herself as a viable candidate for success in the competitive world of modeling. The late 1940s were a transformative time for Norma Jean, as she began to make a name for herself in the glamorous yet cutthroat world of modeling. Her early successes included appearances on the covers of numerous magazines, including 17 and Life, which not only boosted her confidence but also brought her to the attention of talent scouts from major film studios. The sound of her heels clicking on the sidewalk, the flash of cameras as she walked down the street, and the whispered conversations of industry insiders all blended together to create a sense of excitement and anticipation around this rising star. In 1948, she signed a 6-month contract with Columbia Pictures, marking the beginning of her journey as an actress. Although her initial foray into film was met with limited success, including being dropped by the studio after just 6 months, Norma Jean persevered, convinced that her big break was just around the corner. The smell of freshly printed scripts, the feel of grease paint on her skin, and the sound of directors' voices guiding her through scenes all became familiar to her as she navigated the ups and downs of life as a fledgling actress. The year 1950 proved to be a pivotal one for Norma Jean, now professionally known as Marilyn Monroe. She landed small roles in films such as The Asphalt Jungle and All About Eve, showcasing her talent and charisma on screen. Her performance in The Asphalt Jungle, directed by John Huston, earned her critical acclaim and caught the attention of Darryl F. Zanuck, the head of 20th Century Fox, who offered her a 7-year contract with the studio. This marked the beginning of Monroe's ascent to stardom as she began to work on more substantial projects, including Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, alongside Jane Russell, released in 1953. The success of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes catapulted Marilyn Monroe to international fame, with her rendition of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, becoming an iconic moment in cinematic history. The film's blend of music, comedy, and style, coupled with Monroe's undeniable charm, resonated with audiences worldwide, establishing her as a leading lady of Hollywood. This period also saw the beginning of her high-profile romance with Joe DiMaggio, the legendary baseball player, which would become a subject of intense media scrutiny. The flash of cameras, the shouting of reporters, and the constant attention from fans all combined to create a sense of chaos and excitement around Monroe's personal life. As Marilyn Monroe's star continued to rise, she found herself at the center of some of the most iconic films of the 1950s. Her collaboration with Billy Wilder on Some Like It Hot in 1959 resulted in one of the greatest comedies of all time, with Monroe's performance as Sugar Cane earning her a Golden Globe nomination. The film's success was a testament to Monroe's versatility as an actress and her ability to excel in a wide range of roles. Monroe's personal life during this period was marked by turmoil and struggle. Her marriage to Arthur Miller, the renowned playwright, in 1956 ended in divorce 4 years later, amidst rumors of infidelity and creative differences. Despite these challenges, Monroe continued to produce some of her most memorable work, including The Misfits, written by Miller specifically for her, which would become her final film. The quiet, introspective moments on set, the thoughtful discussions with Miller about the script, and the sense of camaraderie with her co-stars all combined to create a sense of depth and nuance in her performances. Throughout her career, Monroe struggled with the pressures of fame, the constant scrutiny of her personal life, and the limitations placed on her as a woman in a male-dominated industry. Yet, despite these challenges, she remained a shining star, a beacon of hope and inspiration for countless fans around the world. Her legacy continues to endure, a testament to the power of talent, hard work, and determination in the face of adversity. As Marilyn Monroe's career continued to soar, her personal life remained a subject of intense scrutiny and turmoil, like a tempest brewing beneath the surface of her glamorous facade. The end of her marriage to Arthur Miller, the renowned playwright, had left her reeling, and she found herself increasingly dependent on prescription medications to calm the storms that raged within her mind. Her struggles with mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, had become a constant companion, one that she couldn't shake off despite her best efforts. The pressures of fame, the relentless attention from the media, and the suffocating expectations of her fans had taken a toll on her fragile psyche. Despite these challenges, Monroe remained committed to her craft, throwing herself into her work with a ferocity that belied her fragile state. She was a perfectionist, always striving to deliver performances that would leave a lasting impact on her audience. Her dedication to her art was admirable, but it also came at a great personal cost. The lines between reality and fiction began to blur, and she often found herself lost in the characters she portrayed, struggling to reconnect with her own identity. In 1962, Monroe began working on Something's Gotta Give, a film that would ultimately prove to be her last. The production was marked by difficulties, with Monroe frequently absent from set and struggling to remember her lines. Her dependence on prescription medications had begun to affect her memory, and she would often show up late or forget her cues. However, even in the midst of these challenges, she managed to deliver some remarkable performances, including a memorable scene in which she sang "Happy Birthday" to President John F. Kennedy at a birthday celebration in his honor. The sultry tone of her voice, the flirtatious glint in her eye, and the effortless charm that she exuded on stage all combined to create a moment that would be etched in the memories of those who witnessed it forever. The scene was more than just a performance. It was a testament to Monroe's enduring appeal and her ability to connect with people from all walks of life. She had a way of making everyone feel seen, heard, and understood, whether she was singing on stage or chatting with fans on the street. Her vulnerability, her willingness to be open and honest about her struggles, had created a bond between her and her audience that transcended the boundaries of fame and celebrity. Tragically, Monroe's life was cut short on August 5, 1962, when she died from an overdose of barbiturates at the age of 36. The circumstances surrounding her death remain shrouded in mystery, with many speculating about the role of the Kennedy family and the potential involvement of organized crime. She had been a shining star, a beacon of hope and inspiration, and her passing left a void that could never be filled. In the years following her death, Marilyn Monroe's legacy has only continued to grow. She remains one of the most iconic and beloved figures in Hollywood history, with a body of work that includes some of the greatest films of all time. As Billy Wilder once said, Marilyn was a siren, and she sang a song that nobody else could sing. Her impact on popular culture is immeasurable, from the countless actresses who have followed in her footsteps to the designers and artists who continue to draw inspiration from her unique style. She had a way of embracing her femininity, of celebrating her curves and her beauty that has inspired generations of women to do the same. Today, Marilyn Monroe is remembered not just as a talented actress, but as a complex and multifaceted individual who struggled with many of the same challenges that we face today. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of mental health awareness, the dangers of addiction, and the need for greater support and understanding in our society. Her story is a testament to the power of talent, hard work, and determination, but also to the fragility and vulnerability that can accompany greatness. She had a way of living life on her own terms, of embracing her uniqueness and refusing to be bound by the expectations of others. Her story is a testament to the power of resilience, the importance of seeking help when we need it, and the need for compassion and empathy in our daily lives. As we look to the future, we would do well to remember the lessons of Marilyn Monroe's life, to cherish her legacy, and to continue to draw inspiration from her remarkable story. That's all for today's Biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.